Hi! Today I'm going to be showing you how data link for shovels enables you to make faster, more informed decisions and power critical operations by pre-linking comprehensive, address-resolved permit data with an extensive ecosystem of complementary datasets. In this demo, I'll be walking through how a telco organization can use data link for shovels to make strategic network expansion decisions, identifying where development is accelerating, pairing that permitting insight with demographic and address details, and ultimately determining ideal opportunities. That said, this connected data supports a wide range of use cases across industries beyond telco, including insurance, real estate, retail, and more. Traditionally, organizations leverage external datasets from multiple providers to support their operations, analytics, and AI. But integrating and matching up these datasets generally requires significant time, overhead, and expertise. Data link for shovels eliminates this roadblock, providing you with data that's already connected via unique identifiers. You can seamlessly connect any datasets with the Precisely ID to more than 160 million shovels permit records, all updated regularly. This drives faster time to value, reduces costs, and fosters innovation. With critical insight into what's getting built and who's building it, connected to data on places, demographics, properties, addresses, boundaries, and more, you can rapidly gain the perspective you need to move your business forward. Now let's look at a real-world example. Here, I'm using Claude Desktop powered by Precisely's MCP server to access this pre-linked data and query it with simple, natural language. I've asked Claude to act as a territory and network intelligence planner for a fictional telco company, and to create a location report for me so that I can identify expansion opportunities. In this case, I'm interested in the Texas market, so I'm asking about the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Normally, I would need data professionals to connect the construction permit data with demographic, boundary, and address data, as well as the information about the competitive carriers. With data link for shovels, it's all pre-linked for me, ready for analysis and immediately usable in this AI-driven workflow. Just like that, I'm able to generate a report using the pre-linked shovels and Precisely data to analyze the DFW area for network expansion opportunities. Looking at the report, I have immediate recommendations tied to specific boundaries with clear rationale based on permit density, permit stage, competitive presence, daytime dwell index, and key demographic information like household income, work-from-home rates, and estimated 5-year population growth forecasts. Scrolling down, I can clearly see the top counties considered across these metrics, the type of permits in this market, and that the data is very fresh. By displaying the permit stage across counties, I can pinpoint new builds and find the right timing to be a first mover on new developments before other services are up and running. I can also look at the monthly trend for the past few months to see growth over time. I can also look at a more detailed demographic breakdown by zip code and contractor, with insight into property values, income bands, education, rent, population projection, and more. Beyond these snapshots, I can visualize permits on a map, I can look at carrier dominance in the area, and I can look at the most significant areas for dwell time, where people linger throughout the day. Additionally, I have access to contractor info, individual permit details by address, vertical fit, and finally, Claude provides a quick overview of my priority counties and why they should be top of my list. Now, let's look at a more rural, emerging area in Texas. In this case, the new Braunfels corridor between Austin and San Antonio. I have the same overview, but I can see that the demographic details are very different. Unlike the DFW metro area, these are aspiring young families and middle-class commuters with lower income, much lower work-from-home rates, and a much higher 5-year population growth projection. This is a great example of how data link for shovels can help pinpoint build-outs related to urban sprawl in more rural areas, while enabling you to also get a clear picture of how the population and their behaviors differ from more mature markets. Often, it can be hard to see growth with just demographics until it's too late. Rural markets don't always look like opportunities based on current populations, and outreach can be scattered without info on smaller contractors rather than the large developers that may dominate more established markets. Again, I can easily visualize the data to find opportunities and areas to avoid. If a competitor has already laid fiber, I can identify that in the permit data and stay away to avoid taking a losing fight. And on the other hand, I can look for new housing starts to find emerging neighborhoods, using the data as a leading indicator for where to place fiber. Just like with Dallas-Fort Worth, Claude has generated recommendations for me that take into account competitors, new builds, demographics, and projected population growth. In this case, Claude has even highlighted a zip code where the permit volume is lower, but the population growth, income, and work from home rate are all much higher than average for this market. Shovels data also contains telecom as a permit category, which gives you one filter to find who's building infrastructure and where, regardless of how it's described and classified across towns and jurisdictions. As of the 2026 July release, there are 1.5 million permits tagged as telecom to help you answer the question, where are service providers building? So that was a brief example of how Data Link for Shovels directly supports business-critical applications, cutting out extended dataset integration processes and costs. This example was specific to telco, but again, you could easily apply this pre-linked data to core processes and workflows in other industries. I also leveraged Claude for this example, but you could use this data in whatever tools or systems you prefer. Whether you're using our MCP server, calling our APIs, or just using flat files in an on-premises environment. To make use of Data Link for Shovels, you'll need to purchase permit data from Shovels, data from Precisely, and the Data Link product itself. Then you'll be all set to use pre-linked data to tackle your priorities. Get in touch today to learn more about Data Link for Shovels and our other Data Link partners.